Welcome back to the space between us. We got our boy Lup, we got Beat Owl, and it's your boy Z. And today, opening the space, it's all about them bass fishing. We going fishing today, guys. And so we're gonna talk to our expert Razz. We're gonna go ahead, we're gonna get on that boat back there in the water. We're gonna go crazy, we're gonna have a good time. We might catch a couple fish. My guess is 2 fish. I think we're gonna catch 2 today. How many guys think we're gonna catch?
12. All of them.
6, 12?
All of them.
He said we're catching all the fish in this lake. And as of right now, I think lake fishing is better than river fishing. So, comments down below, let us know. River or lake?
What lake you guys want us to check out in Wisconsin? Yo, what's up? We're out here, New Prospect, Wisconsin, checking out this new lake on this beautiful day. We're out here with the boy Beat Owl. Me, got our man Z on camera right now. You'll see him later on the episode. And we're here with our guest for the week, Fisherman Razz.
Yo, what's up? I'm Razz. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, razz.city. The handle will be right down below in the link. But yeah, we're just gonna try to catch some fish today.
All right, expert fisherman, what setup we got here today?
Yo, what's up? I'm Razz. Today we're gonna be doing some bass fishing. I do all sorts of fishing, from panfish to catfishing, but bass fishing is where it's at. But just a little disclaimer before we start, I am a 100% amateur. All my fishing experience and what I know is from fishing. So today, since it's a new lake, you guys wanted to know about my setup and what I brought. I brought 6 different reels today, and basically all 6 reels are to cover the 3 different levels that I like to fish when I go to a new lake. 3 different levels. Top water, I usually start up there first, and then I start moving down. Then I try to hit the middle, and then I get to the bottom. So I guess we'll start with the top water setup. So with my top water setup, I have this 7'1" heavy St. Croix Bass X rod with the Abu Garcia high-speed reel, and I have a frog on here. This is really good to fish a lot of vegetation or lakes with a lot of lily pads and weeds, and honestly, you can throw it anywhere. Sometimes I even throw it in the middle of the water bank, and I get hits on it. But yeah, this is usually what I start with when I come out to a new lake. Alright, and then as I start to move down, I get to one of my favorite rods. Not my favorite, this is probably my second favorite rod. This is a St. Croix Avid X. It's a medium heavy. And I also have the Abu Garcia Zata, just released, just came out about a week ago.
Did you get it exclusively?
I did get it early. I did get it about a month and a half ago. But it's an amazing reel, it's an amazing setup. I have a ChatterBait on here right now. It's a Z-Man ChatterBait with my all-time favorite lure, the Sassy Sally, because my boat's name is Sassy Sally. This is the Sassy Sally. If you're wondering why my boat's name is Sassy, it's because she's basic as... but yeah, I like this setup because it's you can fish chatterbaits any way you want to. It's more of a reaction bait, so sometimes fish aren't hungry, but when this thing plows through the water, they just react to it. Alright, so next, I have my crankbait set up. This is a St. Croix medium action, moderate, or medium power, moderate action rod. And a slower speed reel. It's a Revo Ike, one of my favorite reels because of the color. So take a look at that. It's
Favorite color?
Candy paint, purple on purple, a little bit of green. I love this rod. With crankbaits right now, I actually have a square bill on there. These don't go really deep. They usually swim about 6 feet or so, but I like to change it up a lot and hit different columns. Sometimes I throw on like a lipless crank. It gets in a little bit deeper. And then moving next is actually my all-time favorite rod and reel setup. This is the St. Croix Legend Tournament. It's a medium action rod, medium power fast action rod, and I have the Abu Garcia ALF. Right now I have just a swim bait on there, a smaller swim bait with a keel weighted hook. Basically I fish this a lot of different ways. Sometimes I kind of skip it on the bottom, see if there's any fish down there, but this is a really good bait to just cast and just reel in. You can fish it different ways and you'll find some fish down there with it, definitely. So everything I went over was actually my power setup, and when it comes to bass fishing, there's two real ways to fish. There's power and finesse. I like to look at it like Westbrook and Curry. Westbrook is the power type of fishing. Steph Curry is the finesse type of fishing. I am more of a Westbrook type of fisher. I like to power through. It's a lot faster and it creates reaction. Sometimes fish aren't hungry, but they see this beautiful lure coming through and they bite it.
So would you say the finesse fishing will it still use the ChatterBait that you still have on?
No, finesse fishing is a little bit different. So that I have that set up with my spinning setup. So I forgot to mention what I talked about earlier. That was my bait casters. I brought two spinning setups too. So this is when you finesse. So when you finesse fish, it's when power fishing isn't working. Once you're powering through, sometimes the fish don't want to chase lure. Sometimes they don't want to move, or it's too hot and they just want something to fly in their face. But finesse fishing it's fun. I don't like doing it because I don't like Steph Curry. No, I'm just kidding. He's good. But finesse fishing, like this right here, I have this rod. It's 7-foot medium light, and I have 8-pound line on here, which is really light. I don't typically go this light, but sometimes when the fish gets finicky, they need a smaller setup like this, lighter line so they don't see it. Basically, yeah, enough of that. I'll just go over the rods. So the first rod for finesse fishing I have is a St. Croix once again. If you guys haven't noticed yet, all my rods are St. Croix, all my reels are Abu Garcia. I think they make the best stuff, and I think they should sponsor me, to be honest, because I have about 10 of each by now. So this is a 7-foot medium light. It's a very, very, very sensitive rod, and I have really light line and a really light weight on here. And this is when the fish just don't want to bite or chase anything on the power setup. So you cast this, you can cast it to the same location and you fish it really, really slow. And sometimes that will create a bite. It works for me most of the time. If I don't get fish with my power setups, I go to the finesse setups. Next is my Bass X St. Croix once again. It's a 7-footer and it's a medium power, extra fast action. So it's got a really sensitive tip as well. And here I just have a Texas rig on here with the tungsten weight. It's a lot heavier than what I usually put on something like this, because with finesse setups you want to get in there quiet, but I was actually bed fishing with this the last time I was out here, and I wanted this to really anger the male bass that was in the bed, and I did catch him. But yeah, and it's set up with another Revo, or Abu Garcia Revo X, and today you guys are going to be using these to catch some monsters.
He's in his element.
So it's actually nice to fish. So what I'm going to do too, I'm going to fish this line right here with the ChatterBait, and I'm also going to fish this with the frog. But I'm going to start with the frog first while we're out here. You ready?
Yep.
So what are you doing right now?
Just walking the frog through the pad, seeing if there's anything.
The objective is to mimic a frog, right?
Yep. No, sorry. Just kidding.
So the way you cast, I see that you do it a little bit of a sidearm cast.
Yep.
I see people do over the shoulder cast. Is there a difference?
It just depends on space and where you're trying to go with it. I do a little bit of both. So like, if I want to get to a specific spot, I will sidearm cast it. Like if I need to get under, like I can actually skip the bait too, which I'll show you guys later, under docks and things like that. But it all depends on the situation. Like you can do both. If you're a beginner to bait casters, what I'm using now, it's gonna be a lot easier for you to do a sidearm cast. So
A sidearm?
overhand casts are tough because a lot of people traditionally used spinning setups, and when they're casting that, they really launch up. If you do that with the bait caster, you're gonna backlash, which I can go into detail later about what backlashing is and what a bait caster is and stuff like that. But yeah, so the overhand cast, you just gotta go like that. There, I know it.
Oh, I saw that one.
Down there.
Yeah.
I think we're too far off right now. And I think there's water in my frog because it's sinking.
There's something over here.
It's right here.
Was that a fish or was that a frog?
We can see.
Time to find out.
One of the most important things about topwater fishing, right now I have a frog on. I might switch to something else, but the two most important things is to make, or three actually, is to make sure you have a heavy rod, something with enough backbone to get the fish out of the lily pads. You definitely want to have strong line, like right here I have 65-pound braid on, and you also have you need to have a really fast reel to be able to get that fish out. So if you have those three things covered, you're good to go.
So I see that you're throwing your line into the lily pads. How do you get it to not get stuck?
It's weedless. That's the nice thing about topwater, especially with the frog. I'll show you the frog in a second here. The hook is completely covered.
So they just bite down on the whole frog?
Yeah, once it's in its mouth. So there's different type of hook sets too, like with the topwater hook set, especially when the hook is hiding like this. You hear her come close. See how the hook is completely concealed? The hook is concealed like concealed carry. You can't see that shit. Stuff. But yeah, so you ever watch like TV or you see bass fishermen have that crazy arching back hook set? You guys ever see that? That's the type of hook set you want with the frog because the hook is concealed like that. So you really want to put some power into that hook set to make sure that it's locked onto the bass. I'm going to get this right into that bank over there because I really think there's a fish. And if he doesn't want this frog, the nice thing about the frog is you can throw it anywhere. Sometimes I throw it just like that right onto the bank and then I just drop it into the water. Just like a real frog.
It's like would a bass actually eat a frog?
Yeah.
Nice.
Wait till you hit a top water, blow up to one of my all-time favorites because I try this pocket over here too.
So what are blow ups?
Blow up is when they come up in a packet. You'll see it.
So would you compare a blow up like watching a dolphin jump out the water?
Yeah, except the bass opens up its really large mouth. See these pockets right here? I don't know if you guys can see with the glasses on. But like usually what I do next to sometimes I switch this to flipping, I'll just throw jigs right into like areas like that. Just let it drop. But I don't have that right now. Fucking fish here.
Jigging or something?
Oh yeah, so like there's a couple different ways to fish heavy cover like this. So like sometimes bass are really lazy and they don't want to come up to get the bait. So
Okay.
what you do is they call it flipping or punching. There's different ways to flip and punch. I don't do too much punching. Punching basically you just put on a really heavy lure or heavy sinker and just plow through the vegetation and get down underneath it. So when the bass are too lazy to come up, you bring the lure to them. Usually what I do is I just throw on like a football jig or a really heavy, something heavy to get through, and I just flip different areas that I think will be fish, that will have fish there. Like pockets like this, usually I'll just like flip it into, but it's really warm out right here, so I think we're gonna go fish a little bit deeper. Okay, so my next setup that I have going on now is one of my favorite lures to use when I'm fishing unknown waters. It's a ChatterBait. It just covers a lot of ground, and what a ChatterBait is, it's basically a jig with a blade, and this blade just rips water as it goes through. I had this set up because I thought it was going to be a little bit windier today, and ChatterBaits are typically ideal when it's windier and overcast skies, but we'll see what it can do. I mean, the frog didn't work today, but we'll see how this goes. So with the ChatterBait, you don't have to have a really crazy hard hook set like with the frog, because as you can see the hook is exposed. So once you feel a bite here, it's going to be a little different type of bite because the bass is chasing it, so you'll feel it in its mouth. And all you want to do is you want to reel in a little bit till you reel up that slack and just set the hook firmly. Not too hard because the hook is exposed and you could possibly rip it out of its mouth. But I'll be honest, 90% of the time, I set it as hard as I can anyways.
Right, it's 7 feet. Oh, no.
Yeah, we
So
caught
the reason why I'm
seaweed.
fishing here is I don't know if this is post-spawn, during spawn. Like it's been a weird year, so I don't know what stage the fish is at this lake right now, but I'm fishing this area because shallow here, we're looking at about 2 or 3 feet deep here, and to the left of us, it's about 20 feet deep, and there's a little transition area right now where it goes into the deeper, and I'm basically just fishing that line, parallel to that line. Seeing if there's any fish moving back and forth. Chill. He hammered it twice and then I missed him the first time.
How much I weigh?
Yeah.
About 500 pounds.
Keep the rod low.
Low?
Yep, and then jerk it, reel. Jerk, reel. You want to walk it. We call it walking the dog.
Walk it like it.
Walk at the frog. It's like a yo-yo trick. You got it.
Come here, froggy, froggy, froggy.
Ooh, you saw that over there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just missed it. Oh.
Okay. There's fish over there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Did you see what a blow up?
Yeah.
Blew it up too. Fuck.
Definitely a fish over there.
Damn. Come here, fishy, fishy, fishy. this, you want to make sure you have like a foot and a half of slack hanging out. And then all you have to do is open the reel, just like that. Make sure your hand is holding it. And once you cast it out like that, you just release your hand.
Alright.
And it'll stop by itself. Once it stops, you just click it back and start.
Okay.
Doing what I showed you before.
This is Z's first cast since he was 8 years old. I don't even know if he cast when he was that young.
Right here. Yeah, flip it open. Oh. Yep, let it. Yep. Flip it open first. Yep, now hold it. No, not like that. Here we go. Alright, try it again now. Yep, there you go. Flip it.
See, because it was on the wrong side.
There you go. Look at that, dude. It went like 3 feet.
There you go.
Just kidding.
There you go.
Can you close it?
Yep, and close it. There you go. Yeah, and jerk a little bit. The water's a little bit more shallow over there, but.
How's that, Z? First cast.
You know, I'm an ass in hindsight, but it's cool. We gonna get better. I'm competitive, so I'm gonna be the best caster by the end of the day.
Alright, there we go. We're gonna have a video having a perfect cast.
Then I'm like, dang, he nice with it. And this is considered what, power fishing you said, or is this?
This is Steph Curry fishing.
I'm finessing.
I'm finessing.
Oh,
Right
yeah, catch this Euro, it's over.
We're using the Ned rig right now.
The Ned rig? You want to explain what a Ned rig setup is?
Ned rig is basically a hook with it's a weighted hook, and it's flat on the bottom. And you can basically throw anything you want on it. I usually like to throw smaller profile worms on there like that, as you can see.
Bring close.
And
That's small.
what you want to do with the Ned rig is you cast it and you let it drop to the bottom, and you give it a little bit, give it a few taps, and that, because the head is flat on top, it sinks down, so it kind of looks like a bait fish feeding on the
Hey, we have
bottom.
5 feet now, let's go.
Hey, all I'm saying is you fooling the cameraman. I'm going left and your cast going right.
You gotta fish it even slower than that because you want it to contact the bottom.
I have no idea what it is.
About to jump in.
Whoa, whoa.
On the video for sure.
Hey! Fisting with the fishies.
Double fished in.
Fisting.
We got 4 today. Bunch of little skinny post spawners, but they were fun. Just putting them back in the live well. Take some pictures before we release them. Yeah.
How you feel, Luck? How you feel?
I ain't catching them.
A bunch of seaweed. Me too.
Bunch of seaweed.
Me too. Me too. All right, Razz, our expert at bass fishing. So we got fast money round. We're gonna hit you with a couple questions. You get 25 seconds to answer.
All right, let's hear them.
Alright. So you like the Legend tournament with the Apple Garcia or the Mojo Bass with the Apple Garcia Ike?
Definitely the Legend tournament, and it's the Abu Garcia ALF.
ALF.
ALF. Way to correct. Way to correct. Next question. Do you like to fish bass or bass?
Bass.
So smallmouth or big mouth?
Definitely, you need that big mouth, you know.
So are we going Curry or Westbrook? Finesse or power?
Goat, Brook, power all day on all 4 fish today.
So do you prefer the pre-spawn or the post-spawn?
I definitely prefer pre-spawn because they were very hard to find today. Caught all 4 males post-spawn. Post-spawn males just roaming around.
All right. Final question. Do you like fishing near the docks or the deep end?
I like fishing when it doesn't rain. And typically, I do a lot of dock fishing.
Dock fishing.
I prefer dock fishing.
One more question. Do you prefer lake or river?
Definitely lake.
Lake. If you like this episode of SBU, subscribe, like, and share us.
Facebook, future. Till next time on the space between us.